Hi guys, I'm Carri here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, a lively city where history can be found around nearly every turn, even at unexpected places like the Westin Nova Scotian. The hotel is one of the original railroad hotels and was owned by the Canadian National Railways. The landmark hotel has seen many renovations and even an addition since it was one of the best spots to stay for location and also a place that maintains history.
It really did open to provide food and beverage for the trains and also to take care of its travelers when they came into Halifax.
The hotel was reopened in 1996 under the Westin brand, and with it came updated rooms with modern touches.
The beautiful lavish Crown Suite that we're in right now, which is one bedroom, a living room, and a beautiful big boardroom. We have really something for everyone somewhere within the hotel. If the kids want to swim, we have that. If you want to have a drink, of course we have that. And then we have the comedy club. Yuck Yucks, which is a national chain. A number of the comedians come in from Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal. Just about anything you want to do to have some fun and either enjoy the history or a bit of the modern conveniences and super fun nightlife.
You will also find popular dining spots like Elements on Hollis, where you can order fresh Nova Scotian cuisine, and Roy's Lounge. It's named after bartender Roy Corey, who began bartending here in 1963. An even deeper look at the history of Halifax can be found right outside the doors of the hotel at Pier 21, where more than 1 million immigrants entered Canada. The immigration facility is now home to the Canadian Museum of Immigration, a museum where you can see several displays and personal items and even trace your own family's immigration in the Scotia Bank Family History Center. Here we meet George Zwakstra, a guide who immigrated through Pier 21 in 1951 from the Netherlands.
A lot of people have never heard anything from their relatives what immigration was like, why they left, because they just don't want to talk about it. So a lot of people come here that actually come here to find their identity. And in most cases, people find something that they can identify with and how it was in the early days.
One of my favorite parts about the hotel is the location, which is just steps from the Harbor Walk, which is definitely one of the best places to catch seaside views. At the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic, visitors can explore maritime history and learn more about the robust shipbuilding industry, past and present. A display you do not want to miss is one that shows artifacts from the Titanic and talks about Halifax ties to the vessel. The city was the closest major port to where the ship sank. There is also an incredible exhibit detailing the Halifax explosion of 1917, the largest explosion on Earth prior to the atomic bomb. For more Halifax history, we hop on a harbor hopper tour to see the city by land and sea on an amphibious bus. We pass by one of Canada's most visited historic sites, the Citadel, a fort that sits atop a hill overlooking the city. We also cruise by St. Paul's Anglican Church, the oldest building in Halifax. We also drive by the public gardens, which were built in 1867 for views of the Victorian gardens. It's definitely worth a trip back to see the centerpiece of the garden, a wooden gazebo with colorful flowers all around. At the end of the tour, we cruise in the harbor for incredible views of the waterfront for a new perspective. Next, we tour one of North America's oldest breweries. The best part about this tour is that it finishes in a basement pub, the Stag's Head Tavern, where more beer is poured and stories, song, and dance round out the experience. Actors portraying citizens of Halifax in 1863 meet us at different spots on the tour and tell us about the history of the brewery, which was founded by Alexander Keith, a former mayor of Halifax and also Nova Scotia's first brewmaster in 1820. It comes as no surprise that the area is famed for seafood, and I can't wait to show you a few of my favorite spots, starting with one that has ties to the Titanic. Five Fishermen is a favorite because not only is the food incredible, but so is the history of the building. The restaurant is housed in the former John Snow & Co. funeral home. This is where many of the Titanic victims were taken when the ship went down off the coast of Newfoundland. This is where some of the wealthiest on board, including John Jacob Astor, were prepared for their burials. It's also where victims of the Halifax explosion were brought, which claimed thousands of lives in 1917. When it comes to dinner, try the locally foraged farm salad to start, followed by one of the restaurant's signature dishes, the 5 fish, served with Digby scallops, shrimp, halibut, salmon, and lobster risotto. At Shuck, you will find a maritime rustic atmosphere with creative plate presentations, like the crab cake casserole, which is made with layered king crab with a bacon cream sauce on top and hash browns on the side. For views of the harbor, head to the Waterfront Warehouse and grab a seat on the patio. The Warehouse Seafood Tower will give you a hearty fill of lobster, oysters, shrimp cocktail, snow crab, smoked fish, and house-made chutneys served on crushed ice. Inside, you will find a nautical theme with marine artifacts. Looking for something less sea and something heartier? Head to the Henry House for pub fare like the steak and kidney pie, or a hearty burger. Just don't forget to see what local beers are on tap. The restaurant is housed inside a 2.5-story stone house built all the way back in 1834. After your visit, you may be left with just one thought. Why didn't I book my trip for longer? With so much to see, it's a city you will likely keep on your travel list and start planning a second trip back to experience even more maritime culture.